Hey y'all, today we're going to make some Mississippi pot roast. Now, I know you're probably saying we've seen this 1,000 times, but I make mine just a tiny bit different and I think it tastes way better, so y'all know I had to share it with you. So first off, we're going to take a big old hunk of roast, however big a one you want to get. I got that one on sale at Sam's and I was mighty proud of myself for that. So then you're just going to dump 1 pack of ranch seasoning, or if you have the big bottles, just dump it over there. Then I add some brown gravy mix, or 1 packet of brown gravy. And this is where a lot of people stop, but I like to add just a little bit more to mine. I also like to add in here 1 packet of the onion soup mix. Now, of course, I have the off-brand, so it don't say it on the packet, but it's onion soup mix, y'all. And some people I know use either the gravy mix or the soup mix, but I like to use both. And then I add just a little bit of pepper. Then we're going to add our little pepperoncinis on there. And y'all know I'm a wuss when it comes to heat, so I only put 4 in mine. But I try to put everything on top of the roast instead of around the roast, because that way as it cooks, it kind of soaks down into the meat, you know. I don't know, maybe everybody else does that too, but that's the way I do mine. And Lord, that thing did not want to come off that fork. So, like I said, I just use 4 of these. If you like a lot of heat, you can add more, or you can dump some of the juice in there, or however you want to do it. Now, this is another thing that you got to make sure you do. Your butter, make sure you put it on top of your roast, and that way, as the butter melts, it soaks down into the meat, as opposed to it just sitting in the bottom, and the bottom part of the roast, you know, kind of soaking it up. You see what I'm saying? Put it all on top and then it soaks down into your meat. Now, this is something else that I do that most people I don't see doing. I add just a tiny bit of beef broth in with mine. Now, not on top of the roast because I don't want to rinse my stuff off, but I add maybe about a 1/2 cup. And the reason I do this is because I like to have a lot of juice in mine, because I shred it and then put it over mashed potatoes. But it also gives you enough juice that if you wanted to use the juice to make gravy, you could. So I put mine on low at night and I let it cook all night long on low. Now, it doesn't dry out. I know people probably thinking, Lord, you cook it till it dries plumb out. It does not. Trust me on this one, it does not dry out. As long as you got a little liquid in there, right? So the next morning, I went ahead and got up and I just shredded this roast, because it's cooked all night, so it's ready, y'all. I mean, you really could eat it now, right? But I like to shred mine up and get it all down into that juice, and then I let it cook just right down on low for the whole rest of the day. And then that way, when I get ready to eat it, every single bit of that meat has soaked up in that juice. Y'all, I also make meat pies out of roast when I make the roast like this. If I have any left over, I'm going to do a video on that for y'all one day too, because my son has been begging me to make it. So like I said, shred it on up and just make sure it's all covered in the juice and just let it sit there until you get ready to eat it. It'll be ready at lunchtime if you want to eat it. Or like I said, I just let it cook the whole rest of the day right there on low. And this is what she looks like, y'all, when it's done. It is so good. It is super, super tender. You can't even get it out of there with a fork, really. You got to get it out with a spoon because it is just falling to bits. Now, if you like yours a little bit more held together, you don't have to cook it as long. But I like mine shredded, just shredded to pieces. That's the way I like mine. Super, super tender and shredded up. So, if you haven't added all these ingredients to your Mississippi pot roast, try adding all these things and see if you don't like it a whole lot better than the original. Okay? Like I said, y'all, this is it. It is so dadgum good. I didn't have any left over. My son and his friend came over. They ate, and then they took the rest of it home with them, y'all. I didn't even have no leftovers. But anyway, that's it, y'all. Mississippi pot roast. I'll put y'all another video over here, and I'll catch y'all on the next one.